JJ, a former U.S. Special Forces soldier, newly hired as a CIA operative, is in one of his first major missions as a spy. Due to his lack of subtlety, JJ blows his cover for the assignment, which is busting an illegal weapons-grade plutonium trade between the Russian mafia and Hassan, a Middle Eastern terrorist. In the meantime, the CIA is watching the ongoing trade live on surveillance back at their headquarters. As he is exposed, JJ quickly springs into action, combating several men and killing them during the process. By the end of the fight, he bombs the building and consequently, the Russian mafia as well as Hassan are dead. JJ then walks out of the now ruined building in style while carrying the box of plutonium core. Next, he arrives at the CIA headquarters, where he's welcomed by a huge round of applause from his colleagues. Despite successfully securing the plutonium core, his boss Kim is disappointed in him. According to Kim, JJ was supposed to carry out the operation secretly without exposing himself. What's more, there were 2 boxes of plutonium core, and one of Hassan's men named Azar fled the scene with the second box. After being reprimanded by his boss, JJ sadly returns home, where he lives by himself and a pet fish named Blueberry. In the meantime, in Chicago, a 9-year-old Sophie, who has just relocated to the city with her mom, Kate, pick on her as Sophie has some blue jam left in her mouth. Back at the FBI headquarters, Kim is discussing Victor Marquez, a French illegal arms dealer who has obtained construction plans for a miniaturized nuclear bomb that he intends to sell to Hassan. However, Victor lost these plans to his brother David, who hid them before he was murdered by Victor. So now the mission is to stop Victor, who is looking for the construction plans for a nuclear bomb, and Azar, who has the plutonium core, from getting into an agreement and building a nuclear weapon. Kim assigns another agent, Christina, for the mission. Much to his disappointment, JJ is teamed up with another colleague, a tech operator, Bobby, who hero worships JJ. The duo is assigned to keep an eye on David's wife, Kate, and daughter, Sophie, who recently moved from France to Chicago after David's demise. Kim suspects that the nuclear bomb construction plans may be in the possession of David's American wife, Kate, so they need to be ready in case Victor contacts her. In the next scene, JJ and Bobby move into the building where Kate and Sophie live and set up their surveillance. When Kate heads to work, JJ sneaks into her apartment and installs hidden cameras. However, he's spotted by Kate's dog, who takes a liking to JJ. Ozzy doesn't stop licking him on the face. Suddenly, Kate returns early to the apartment with her daughter. Sophie is upset as her mother cannot take her to ice skating tomorrow. Kate then tries to ask her neighbors, a gay couple named Carlos and Todd. Sadly, they say that they're busy the following day. Meanwhile, JJ hides under Sophie's bed as the dog continues to play with him. Thankfully, Bobby works remotely and helps him to sneak out of the apartment. However, the witty and inquisitive Sophie soon finds one of their hidden cameras. She looks up the model number on the camera, successfully backtracks its signal, and stumbles upon the operation post. She then starts recording JJ and Bobby while listening to their conversation. JJ confirms to her that they're spying on her and Kate in case Victor tries to contact them for the construction plans. Confronting the 2 agents, Sophie blackmails JJ into keeping her company. Otherwise, she will upload the recorded video. JJ and Bobby take some time privately to discuss the matter. While Bobby encourages him to do what the little girl says, JJ believes he should bomb the building. They eventually decide to come to terms with Sophie. The following day, JJ turns out at the ice skating park as instructed by his new boss, Sophie. Although JJ seems to not know how to ice skate, the two enjoy a good time together. However, our poor little girl is once again bullied by the mean girls from her class, and the boys tease her accent. Seeing this, JJ trips the boys while they're ice skating. He later gets some ice cream for Sophie as well. When they return to the apartment, Kate is worryingly looking for Sophie as she had not informed her mother where she was going that day. When Kate sees her daughter with a stranger, she kicks JJ in his private parts and quickly grabs Sophie to safety. She then apologizes to him when Sophie explains the situation to her, although she decides not to reveal the spy part. The following day, Sophie has JJ repair the pipe from the kitchen sink. During the process, JJ mistakenly sprays water on himself and Kate, draining themselves completely. After this short-lived commotion, Sophie gets her mother to agree to let JJ stay for dinner. But Bobby, who is monitoring them, considers this a bad idea since JJ is getting too close to the family. During dinner, Sophie also convinces her mother to consider JJ her special friend for a presentation tomorrow, since her mother is unable to attend it due to her busy schedule. JJ only agrees to it because Sophie continues to threaten him to expose his true identity. The following day, JJ drives Sophie to school, where he attends the parent and special friend meeting. After hearing stories of successful parents, JJ also shares about his career, telling everyone that he's a CIA agent and has done pretty crazy things. Sophie's classmates are impressed with her new special friend and even start talking to her in a friendly manner. At the same time, Sophie's class teacher hits on JJ as she gives her phone number to him. However, Sophie later tells him to tear it up, since she secretly wants JJ and her mother to be together. Despite JJ's social awkwardness, the two slowly begin to bond, and JJ also becomes acquainted with Kate and her neighbors Carlos and Todd. Sophie has JJ train her in the basics of spying and brings him and her mother closer together. At first, JJ is reluctant, but he eventually agrees to train Sophie in the art of spycraft, thinking it will be a short-lived arrangement. As the unlikely duo embarks on their training, Sophie's natural talents shine through, and JJ begins to develop a begrudging fondness for her. They bond over target practice, self-defense, and tactical strategies. JJ also teaches her how to pass a lie detector test, talk her way into a stranger's apartment, and how to surprise people in a fight. Sophie also helps JJ improve his social skills, as he's always been a loner and struggles with human interactions. As their mission progresses, JJ's relationship with Sophie deepens, and he starts to see her as the family he never had. Sophie also begins to view JJ as a father figure, filling the void left by her late father. Meanwhile, Bobby is upset with their bonding since JJ never taught her anything. In the next scene, Victor meets up with his brother's lawyer, Cole, and demands to know where David kept the construction plans. Cole swears he doesn't know anything about the matter, but he does remember David mentioning that he left all of his belongings to his best friend. Victor immediately surmises what he's talking about before stabbing him to death. One day, Kate asks JJ out to dinner, and he gladly accepts it. Sophie, having spied on them, later asks JJ to dance so that he can ask her mom to do the same on their date. However, JJ shows some cute but uncomfortable moves, which Sophie begs him not to show her mom. On the date night, JJ comes over to the apartment to pick up Kate, but he's suddenly shoved by Todd and Carlos into their apartment. The couple asks JJ about his real intentions. They remind him that Kate is a single mother who has struggled a lot after her husband's demise, so they wouldn't want someone who is not a keeper to date her. JJ assures them that he really likes Kate and that he has never felt anything like this before. Moreover, he has bonded over more with Sophie, whom he sees as family. The couple is relieved when they hear this and fix up JJ's dressing style before sending him for the date night. While Kate and JJ are enjoying their time together, Sophie and Bobby watch them through surveillance. JJ tries to reveal the truth about his identity to Kate, but just then, a song plays on the dance floor, so Kate interrupts him and requests to dance together. Returning home, JJ helps Sophie with her math homework, and Kate seems to be genuinely happy with JJ being in their lives. She tells him that he's like a breath of fresh air for them. Sophie also gives him a cute family picture she drew of themselves. In the meantime, Victor and Azar meet up at a secret location to discuss their plans. But Christina, the agent assigned to take them down, is tailing them. She reports back to her boss, Kim, who sends a backup team for her. When Christina and her men enter the building, it suddenly explodes. Thankfully, the agents remain safe and deduce that Victor and Azar died during the explosion. However, unaware of them, Victor is seen leaving the premises with his henchmen. It turns out that Victor had known about the CIA tailing him all along, and he had planned the meetup and the explosion in order to fake his own death. In the next scene, Kim finds out about JJ's personal involvement with his targets and takes him and Bobby off the mission, firing them. Later, JJ apologizes to Bobby as he's the reason why she also got fired from work. However, Bobby understands and says that she has always looked up to him and that she's aware he's been a loner ever since he lost his men in the last mission assigned by the CIA. JJ later reveals his true identity and mission to Kate, who rejects him in disgust. Kate becomes even angrier when she finds out that Sophie had known about this all along. That evening, JJ spends the last day at his apartment overeating junk food. Sophie visits him while pretending to walk her dog outdoors. They exchange a heartwarming farewell as they fear they will never get to see each other again. Both promise to never forget about each other. As Bobby is shutting down the computers and packing things, she sees Victor and his men heading to Kate's apartment. JJ and Sophie run to rescue her, but they're too late. Victor holds everyone at gunpoint while caressing the dog. It turns out that David's best friend is actually the dog, and he had attached the pen drive containing construction plans to the dog's collar. Suddenly, Carlos and Todd, the supposedly gay couple, burst in and intervene, actually revealing themselves as independent arms dealers who are also after the plans. Meanwhile, Bobby attempts to help JJ and the others. However, she mistakenly drops JJ's automatic gun on the floor. Consequently, the shots go on continuously, causing everyone to panic in Kate's apartment. In the end, Bobby's clumsy attempt to help results in Victor escaping with the pen drive and Sophie as his hostage. JJ and Kate pursue Victor to an airfield nearby, where JJ manages to stop Victor's escape plane by puncturing the tire and starting a fistfight with him. In her attempt to escape, Sophie accidentally sets the plane in motion, leaving it hanging at the edge of a cliff on some wire fencing. Thankfully, JJ arrives just in time to rescue her. Unfortunately, the armed Victor forces Sophie, who has hidden the real plans, to surrender them. Before he can shoot them, Kate attacks him from behind and shoves him onto the fence. JJ then pushes the plane off the cliff, sending Victor to his death. The movie's final scene shows JJ being reinstated by Kim for his successful mission. JJ then has himself permanently assigned to Chicago, where he moves in with Kate and Sophie.